All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Inside the Box with CJT. This is episode 8. We're on the quest to 100 episodes. We keep moving every single week, and we have another guest. Well, I would say another guest, but I brought back the guest, Shelby Autry. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing today?
I got sweet tea. I'm doing great.
Perfect. And you got it from Bojangles, which...
Yes, and they gave me an extra tender. And they were made fresh.
Isn't
and by
that love?
fresh, I mean they were taken out of the freezer and dropped in the fryer for me.
Oh, you don't got to bring out the freezer part. Just know it was fresh to order.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters.
It's because I was the only person coming in at like 10:30 at night.
True. It is late night when we're recording this right now, but it can be whatever time whenever you listen to this.
Just for you guys, I came after work.
Look at that. She's a trooper.
Class and work. Here I am. Just for you guys because I know Charles puts it out on Wednesday.
Yeah. So, Shelby, what have you been up to lately ever since the Valentine's Day special? Did you do anything Valentine's Day this year, regardless with someone, or just what was your Valentine's Day like?
So, actually, I did have a Valentine's. Was it a man's? No, it was Rima. Rima's a girl I work with.
Okay.
Absolutely
Shout out,
fantastic.
Rima.
Yeah, shout out to my gal, Reams. I was going to call her by her nickname, but I won't do that to her. Sorry, inside joke, guys. But she made me like a cute little box. I posted it because I'm basic. I posted a boomerang of it on my Instagram story. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure you saw it, but it was so cute. She did it like blue because that's my favorite color.
Okay.
And she put like pretzels. She gave Slinky treats. Slinky's my cat, by the way. Like a candle, an eye mask, like a bunch of different cool things. Absolutely loved it. And then my cat was my Valentine. And my mom sent me my cat presents. And it was so cute. And we just sat at home and we watched a Revolutionary War show.
That's so you, for sure.
If you haven't seen it, it's on Netflix. It's called Turn Washington Spies. Highly recommend.
I think... Is it? No, it's not a documentary, right?
No.
Okay.
But I am watching a George Washington docuseries on the History Channel. So.
Okay. All right. That sounds
And my
riveting.
new show is Little House on the Prairie.
Yes, we were talking about that before we started.
I sound like such a loser.
No.
Like a grandma.
I think... Okay, so the only grandma part is the Little House on the Prairie, because that show was probably
It's
out
so
in like
wholesome,
40s.
No, it was in the 70s. It was put out in the 1970s, but it was based in the 1870s to 1890s.
Which is like, that was a throwback. I was definitely caught off guard when you said
But
you
it's
was
such a
watching
wholesome show. Like when you watch it, it's
sure.
so wholesome. It's like very relaxing. Mm-hmm. It takes me back to the good old days, even though I wasn't born then, you know?
Good old days.
Like it's just like so simple.
Right, yeah.
And so relaxing. I love it.
I know what you mean. Because so, being a film student or whatever, watching a lot of like the older cinema from like the 1940s to like 60s, and you just see the different way of living. And I think I'm a really big fan of it because I'm kind of a traditional person, because growing up, I watched a lot of those older like sitcoms, and I kind of always like envision doing a lot of those like traditional American quote unquote like traditions and stuff like that. And so that's like something that's kind of like deep in my brain that I kind of want to do, or at least have those, like I like to model my family of 12 kids, down the road. Like, I think that's how I want to, maybe like the Brady Bunch. I think my family would be kind of like the Brady Bunch.
They were one of the first couples to be shown sleeping in the same bed together during that time period.
I think I heard that before. Yeah. It's kind of crazy, like the things that were restricted on television. Well, this is a little...
Well, it's crazy because my great-grandparents, R.I.P., they both slept in separate bedrooms. Like, that was the actual thing. And they did it up until they, like, stopped living together. And by living together, I mean, like, one died, so...
Right.
But, like...
Yeah.
That was, like, the thing. Like, I just thought one of them snored really badly. Right. And they just couldn't deal with it. But no, like as I got older, it was like, that's like the thing.
Yeah, that was so like
they
the
just
norm.
like kept with it. And I was like, yo, how y'all having sex? Like, y'all both got like twin beds. What you doing? Like, Like, I mean, I remember having sex in a dorm bed. It ain't fun. And that sucker's an XL too. Like, you got a little bit of leg room, but like width space, not a lot. I'm so sorry if you hear this, Dad and Mom.
But I think, well, so
JK, I blocked them from seeing my story, so when I like promote this, they can't see it. Anyways,
I think, yeah, because like sex was so much, it was so taboo back then.
It was only for children, like only to make children.
Right, exactly. And now, I mean, today's generation, because of how much media kind of blocked it out, at least in American media, how much they blocked it out, it's kind of been, of course, every generation is kind of like, they want to do the complete opposite of what the last generation was, which you see a lot of extremes, the opposite direction. So if you didn't see sex at all, then we're going to do nothing but sex on this movie or TV show, you know? And I think it's kind of like the balancing of scales in a way, you can say. Because I feel like now that sex is becoming more normalized in American media versus, you know, like in Europe, in France, like over there, like that's like it's already been normalized.
Yo, they got titties out.
Oh yeah, like you know, like the body and sex that's a normal thing. They actually have like sex education, unlike America, but that's a whole different conversation. But I feel like in the next probably 20 or 30 years for sure, we'll be kind of like a balancing scales, kind of like finally
like finding
catching up in a sense, you know. But yeah. It's just, you know, back then for American television and movies, there was a censor kind of board that they developed to where that you had to like submit your scripts into these people, and they would say, okay, this is good, but you can't put this in here, and so it was so much like restrictions on media. That's why I feel so wholesome then, and they wanted to do a lot back then, but of course, you know, it was so many.
Also the 1870s were kind of wholesome, if we're being honest.
Okay, I mean,
besides like the whole like segregation part.
Well, 1870s was a lot Wild West and a bunch of.
But like family oriented, like
right, of course,
like family like that. It was very wholesome, and like everybody went to church, everybody did this. Like you worked on the farm, like there wasn't much going on.
The Constitution was still very fresh in people's mind. Wait, 17? Yeah. Well, that's fresh. It's 100 years.
It was like 100 years.
But like still, like I feel like
that.
That's like one or two generations.
Think about this though. 250 years old is basically how old America is. Think about that. It doesn't seem that long ago, but like the way, like think about the outfits, bruh. If we lived in a time period like that, like I'd still be wearing a dress. Do I look like I wear a dress all the time?
You should. That'd be cool. I could fuck with that. All right. I guess not.
If y'all could see my face. Also,
I feel like we should bring that fashion back.
Girls don't enjoy sex. Like, if that's your mindset because of what like older shows and older movies put into your head, let me tell you, yo, I crave that shit sometimes. Charles, I'm just saying, don't think that girls don't like sex as much as you, okay? Because what was it in that 70s show?
Oh,
Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis.
I love Mila Kunis. Like, she's a girl I would fuck hardcore. Anyways, yeah, she's beautiful. But like, what was it? Kelso was like, girls don't. He's like, it's even worse. Like when girls cheat because girls don't even like sex. And I'm like, and like Jackie's face is just like, what the fuck? Like, what? And like, honestly, that's in the 70s. Like that's 50
true.
Years ago. Think
I feel
about
like
that.
how Americans have to take a driver's test and be able to get on the road. I feel like we should implement a sexual education test before you have to have sex.
Can you actually get a girl off?
Okay. That might be an advanced class, but no, I feel like at least
a basic class.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, it's not as okay. Anyways, I just feel like, you know, at least it should just be a lot more. I mean, there's a lot more sources now for education, but like at least at a younger age, it was like, okay, this is a penis, this is a vagina. You do that, and that's it. You know, it wasn't like about understanding about.
I did not really learn a lot of
consent
stuff.
And stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Don't get me started on
right.
consent.
You know what I'm saying? That's like a deeper conversation, but I'm saying like because like when I went to see, okay, so this is an interesting story, and so like I think now that I rethink about this, it makes me, I don't know how to feel about it now, but when I first came to UNCW, I went to the orientation and they had to talk about consent. I was like, oh, that's like really forward thinking and like actually having conversations about consent and when you is given and when it's not, whatever.
But it's not forward.
But yeah. So
I know what you mean, but like it shouldn't have to be like a forward movement. Like it should be like something.
Like at least I haven't experienced like
Yes.
places that like openly talk about it. But at the same time, I thought, has there been enough incidents at this university to where they have to from the jump have this conversation with new students?
I don't know if it's necessarily incidents. I mean, I've never heard of a case at UNCW. I haven't personally.
Okay.
Maybe you have. Like,
Yeah.
I just haven't heard, or like, and I haven't heard of like anything. I mean, it's kind of odd because I was in a freaking sorority, but like whatever. But like, it happens at every university, whether people realize it or not.
Very true.
And I think that in order to get that stigma away from universities is also why they do it. And also just because like people don't talk about it. I think like it does need to be talked about. So if they're going to talk about something, why not talk about something that's actually important and something that could actually help save lives and whatnot? Did you watch the T video?
The T video?
Yeah. Where it was about consent, where it's like, pretend consent is consent is tea. If the person is passed out on the floor and cannot respond, they probably don't want tea. You don't know that video? They showed it to me during orientation.
I think that it sounds
like a
kind
little
of
drawing of like stick figures.
Oh
and stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
If you don't know what consent is, watch the video. It's not hard to understand.
Not at all. But anyways, yeah. Moving on. I don't know how we got here,
Yeah,
but
let's move on to something else.
Yeah. So let's go on to music of the week. So Shelby.
Oh, I have to go first. That's fine.
I'm just segueing. What? I guess I can go first.
Sorry.
So, music of the week. My vibe this week was definitely different. I felt like I've been kind of in the same place musically because I haven't had any new music. Well, I listened to the Russ album, but I'm still working. I mean, I like that. But it's not like a lot of new music. Like especially like when the summertime hits, it's going to be a bunch of just music flooding the streets. But I just been listening to the same stuff over and over again.
Me too.
And so I'm just like, I kind of want to switch it up. So the past couple of days, I've been listening to a lot of like rock, classic rock, and a little bit of metal music. At least when I go work out, because it's a different vibe, it's a different energy, and it's been refreshing.
You want to hear the workout song that I like?
Oh my!
I was listening to like the workout radio on Apple Music because that's what I use.
Okay.
I'm
shout out
not
to
a Spotify
Apple,
person.
Spotify, and Google. We all appreciate you very much.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like Apple Music, and I don't know why. But anyways, past the point.
Okay. Anyways.
Spotify. Where is it? Isn't it on my thingy here? So, there was this song, and I don't know why, but it was like one of my favorites for some reason. Where is it?
As we learned last time, you have a very interesting music taste.
I really do. I don't know why it's not on here. Let me find it. It was a song, but like I was listening to like a workout radio. It was like workout hip hop. That's the name of it. Let's be real.
Workout hip hop.
Kind of a sad name for it, but whatever. I mean, like it
Wait,
explains
did you
what
make it yourself, or you just followed it?
No, it's from Apple Music.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like,
Spotify has way better names of playlists. By the way.
Yeah, it's a better name, but I was just like, let's just listen to it. You know?
Okay.
Why not? And I'm looking through the artist because for some ungodly reason I cannot. Aha! It's from 2006, so you're gonna understand why the name is
2006.
So, you want to know who the artist is?
It's probably like Ludacris.
No.
Or Nelly.
No.
Who else is popping there?
I feel like you're not gonna know.
Sean Kingston.
No, but he's a.
I was trying. Paul Wall.
And this is not my music of the week. This is not my song of the week. It's just It's so funny. It's okay. So the rapper.
Oh God.
It's called Lil Scrappy.
Lil Scrappy. Like wait. Like Scooby Doo.
It's not Scooby Doo though. Like, That's the name of it.
Okay.
And are you ready for the name of the song?
Sure.
Money in the Bank. Do you want to hear it?
Play a little snippet of it.
Ooh. Imagine me on this like elliptic all of this.
Oh, I remember the song.
This is just purely for workout for some odd reason. It's so funny, and I just
Yeah.
it's such a not a power move, but just I don't know.
I mean, it's like how I look at working out is you need, depending on your mood, you just need that type of energy to get that workout through. So like,
and I'm trying to get that money in the bank.
Exactly. So you just grinding. Oh my goodness.
I am working out to get me a sugar daddy.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all trying to get a sugar daddy out here? But so my song of the week, I think I'm gonna say, ooh, this is tough. Okay, I think I'm gonna say, fuck, this is so tough. I'm gonna say Fall Out Boy.
Oh my god. What album?
It's more just a song. I only...
No, like what album is it from? Because I'm gonna take a guess if I know it.
It's older, but it's like I'm debating between two songs that are of course, very popular that they have. I'm gonna say my songs "Know What You Did in the Dark."
Oh my god, from the Save Rock and Roll album.
Yeah.
What was the other one?
Thanks for the memories. I don't know.
Have you listened to the American Beauty, American Psycho album though?
I think I have.
Good album.
I used to. Okay, so fun fact. Back in, was it 5th grade? It was middle school. It was definitely middle school. Of course, I went through a lot of different phases, but I was like really hardcore into like rock, heavy metal, death metal, like some crazy shit. And I like, like, of course, especially if like the drums are really good. I really like it. Even now in like, hip hop music, but like I was like really into it. And some of those songs I still like now, like Five Finger Death Punch. I like a lot of the old school stuff, Ozzy, AC/DC, Metallica, of course, Queen. Just classic. Like I'm not like a person who listens. See, like for me in hip hop and rap, like I can listen to whole albums of that because that's like I would say that's my number one choice of music. Mm-hmm. But for like hip hop, not hip hop, for like rock, metal, I will just listen to like single songs and anything that's catchy. Yeah. So, and I probably wouldn't be able to listen to a full album of it. Mm-hmm. Unless it's maybe like, I don't know. Green Day I kind of fuck with.
To me, like I start off with like, especially if it's not something I listen to often, I start off with like one or two songs, and then like I'll like be driving and like the next song plays and I'm like, oh, this isn't too bad, and then like I like have like up to 3 or 4 songs, and then it kind of just like keeps building from there,
right? Depending
on the the person, but
okay, the time. But yeah, so what is your song of the week?
I am choosing a song by Lainey. Off their album, Lainey.
Self-titled album, yeah, I got you. Yes,
and it's called 13, and I just really love it, and it's super nice. And, like, it's been kind of, not, like, today was kind of gloomy-ish. Mm-hmm. It was a little gloomy-ish.
Yeah.
And, like, last week was a little gloomy-ish. Not too bad, like, a few days. Yeah, so, like, cold, like, gloomy-ish. Like, you don't want, like, sad music, but you want, like, that very, like...
mellow vibe, nothing
and like a few of their stuff is like kind of sad, but it's like just kind of like really relaxing. Like I'm not gonna like listen to country music because like that's like summer stuff,
I've never heard country music as described as summer, but at the same time I'm not in that lane. It's heavy.
Okay. Anyways, he's here. Or at least the light came on. He's here. That was a little loud, sorry.
You're good. What's up, Margaret? So, this is something that I've been thinking about for the last 48 to 72 hours. And this is my thought of the day. And the thought translates to a theme of trust. And so, how much do you trust yourself is the initial question. And so then it's like a lot of ways you can kind of go about that. Like, do you trust that you have the tools to succeed? Do you trust yourself that you will be able to be the person that you want to be in life? Do you trust your work ethic? Do you trust your stability mentally, physically? I think that's something I don't know. I've been, I guess, I don't want to say struggling because I wasn't struggling with this question. It was more of I was pondering this question. So it's kind of like self-reflection. What do you think about this?
I'd have to say, well, we were talking about this earlier, about like me going to grad school and stuff, and like how I don't trust myself to go back after like an 8-month break. The reason I'd have an 8-month break is I'd take a semester off, but then it'd be summer. So, anyways, y'all don't need to know about that because that's my life. Hello, Han. You're so handsome.
I was trying to be as quiet as possible. You're good.
Man, Han's quieter than you.
Oh, all right, guys.
Fun fact, we all used to work together, so that's why.
Yeah.
Go away, Marvin. Popping his head in like we actually care what he's got to say. Anyways, so, I trust that I can build a plan for myself. Do I trust that I know exactly how to get there? I'm one of those people who has an outline. I don't have like a detailed rough draft yet. I have a nice outline. Is it a detailed outline? To some degree. It's not the best.
Right. Well, with life is always changing, right? And I think if you, like, it's one of those, that's a factor that you can't really take into consideration. And so, like, yes, you can have a plan. Like, it's a famous expression. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And it's like a boxing fighting.
Never heard that.
Well, okay, it's like a sports thing. If you're not really into sports, I'm just kidding. But everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face, and all of a sudden it makes you reevaluate, like, oh fuck, like what's going on, like what I have to do. So then you have to figure. Then from that like initial, I guess, fork in the road, you have to readjust, reevaluate where you are in life, and then make a plan from that. And I think the biggest tool you should be able, or the biggest, how do I want to say this? The biggest thing that you should do going forward is being able to handle change, and be okay with finding alternate routes to your final destination.
You can hear me breathing really loudly.
Oh, you're good.
It's awkward that.
But
Sorry. But now you can still hear me, right? Is it good?
we probably could angle it down a little bit.
Is that better? I don't want it. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's good.
I just don't want to hear me breathing. I breathe really heavy because of my asthma.
You're fine.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
So yeah, I think as long as you can understand, I think change. You trust yourself when change happens. I think that's a big thing about this question, because it's good to plan and you want to be able to kind of have a idea that you want to be here, like A to B, but that whole route getting there might not be a straight line,
Yeah, I trust my anxiety to act up.
Right.
But like I trust that, okay, I believe that everything will like always has a reason for like happening, and I believe that like it's like going to work out. It may take 10 years, but it'll work out.
Right.
But like I think that like it's always like a good way to think is like it happens for a reason. It's not happening just because like the world hates you or God hates you or anything. Like it's gonna like it's something like it's gonna work out no matter what. So I think like, do I trust myself with my outline and stuff? Like, yes. And like where I want to go, yes. Do I know that something's probably gonna happen that I don't want to happen? 100% yes, because something always happens. But like, you get through it, you get over it, it happens, you move on. And sometimes that makes you a better person. So most of the time it makes people better people.
I think it always, I would say makes you better. I think it always, I think it betters the person whether people think it does. It's just, I think it's also how someone looks at the situation. So if negative things happen to you, you can't just think that, I'm just like, always bad things happen. And like, it's just like how you react to negativity You know, just because negative things happen to you doesn't mean, you know, you have a terrible life. You know, it's just about having understanding negative things are happening to me right now, and but that's okay. It's not gonna negativity is not gonna last forever. Bad, you know, storms are not gonna be here all the time. You know, you're just in a big storm right now.
Yeah, sure is.
Marvin, shut up.
But I think I don't know, because it's like, you know, trust is like a big thing to earn with people, trust and respect, and it's I think
learning our trust or earning our trust. Night, Marvin.
I think it's easy to like, because you always think about trusting someone else, especially when you get in a relationship, and so you have to build trust with other people. But do we often think about like the trust that you built with yourself? You know what I mean? Because I think I know I've heard before people who have like mental issues, who like have like impulsive tendencies to where they can harm themselves because if they're around bad things, or if they're around substances, they can easily fall back because that trust for themselves, because of what they've done before, they don't trust themselves, you know.
Yeah.
And they have to kind of go through a process of kind of building that trust up with yourself, building your sobriety. But I think for people who just, you know, who don't really suffer from like substance abuse or anything like that, is that something that people constantly think about? Like, do you think about the trust? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you, because I think it's just a part of like your relationship with yourself, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
it's kind of like loving yourself.
right, exactly.
You gotta put yourself on a higher pedestal in order
Exactly.
to, I don't know how to explain it. Like, you have to put yourself on a higher pedestal in order to love yourself and to trust yourself enough, because you should be the first person that you trust always and forever.
Right.
Wow, that sounded so mom crocheted on a pillow or something.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, it's one of those things where it's cliches always hit because they like it. Like, oh, it's so cliche, but cliches are always so right. People, it's become cliche.
That's because it's cliche.
Exactly. Yeah, and so it's like you have to really like look at why things become cliche, because it's so true. And I don't know, like I think I know when it comes to like sweets, I don't trust myself around because it's like, damn, like my sweet tooth is so crazy. I know I need to like not go so heavy. I have a pretzel
in my bag.
A pretzel?
Like a chocolate pretzel. You want it? It's dark chocolate though.
I don't want it. I don't. I've been doing really good. I don't. I got persuaded. I almost lost my good eating habits for this week because Marvin wanted to go. He had to go to Jacksonville for something.
Popeyes.
And he wanted to go to Popeyes, and I was like, no.
I have a dark chocolate sprinkled twist.
I'm gonna say no.
2 of them.
I'm still gonna say no. I've been doing really good this week, and I'm keeping it up. I'm almost there.
Is Marvin still on his bad streak from my birthday?
No.
He was on it for like 4 months, and he told me it was because of my fault.
Yeah, we definitely spiraled out of control after that. That's actually really that's something heavy. We just went downhill, but
yeah, I was just there for the free food.
Yeah, food is good. Food is good, but I don't know. Like I think because I enjoy food so much, I don't trust my ability to say this is enough, especially if hunger is at the right
mashed potatoes
level, you know?
Yeah.
So
like especially food that you really love. Like for me, mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, bruh.
Mac and cheese, yes.
I love mac and cheese.
So it's like you kind of have to earn that trust back with yourself, which is, it sounds weird. Like when you say it out loud, like, oh, I have to earn trust with myself because I haven't said no enough to cookies, to potato chips, to
why
this
people
boy
say potato
over here.
Chips? They're just chips.
Oh my God. There's multiple types of chips. There's corn chips or potato chips.
Yeah,
listen, you just don't understand. I'm a chip aficionado. Is that the right word? Anyways, a chip expert.
Fanatic.
Yes. Oh, bad habits. But like I think you gotta have to like say no enough times, or to say, look, I know what I want to be in 3 months. Like, I know my weight loss journey. I want to be here in 3 months. I'm not going to sacrifice it for a short term
Well, you
thing.
can also have like your moments though. You're allowed to have a cheat moment,
Yes,
but
at the
you
same,
have to get right back on track.
at the same time, but you have to. I think you can have cheat moments, but you can't do cheat moments from the jump. You have to be able to establish the state of stability in being clean for a certain amount of time before you can, dabble again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm saying. That's that building like process of like doing not eating sweets for like a month. Like now I don't even eat ice cream. Even though I used to, when I used to work at the ice cream shop, like I'd eat it like every day because it was like kind of a necessity. Because I was like,
Well,
I
it's
need,
also we get a free cup every
right,
day,
of course.
so like I mean,
but like if you're broke and you get it for free, it's like okay, of course I'm gonna eat it.
503 after tax.
Exactly. But now, like, I'm surprised it hasn't gone up yet.
It has.
Oh, has it?
For a single waffle cone, it's $6.15, and for a single cup, it's $5.19.
Whoa, that's weird.
Yeah, it's expensive.
But
and I still don't pay for that or anything.
No.
Ha ha ha! Don't tell my boss.
But what I mean? I think it's just you need that stability, and I think another, I guess, a good a way to hammer it home is with relationships. I think with other people, that's something that can be very.
We're not gonna get started on that because I get very heated about that.
Well, I mean, trust is first. You need to build trust, and I guess from the jump, when you start a relationship with someone, you automatically have it, right? Or do you like? Okay, so that's a good question. So
I
do
feel
you
like
start at
everybody trusts
100 or
someone-
0?
I feel like everybody trusts someone like 50% when they first like if you're friends with someone. Because think about it, you can build trust over time, and like depending on the relationship, you build trust more,
Right?
and, or not more, but like faster than in other situations. And I think like to me, okay, I'm gonna get on my little moment here, my little rant
Go for
train.
it. Yeah.
So I think that unless your partner gives you a reason to not trust them around other people, that they should be able to hang out with whoever they want. Now, if they flirting with like someone and that person is flirting back, of course, understandable. But like, you can't just control people just because you want to control them, because then hello, red flag, that's a sign of like aggressive behavior, and that's not okay. And I just like don't like it when I hear like, oh, like my friend like or like my boyfriend or my girlfriend won't let me go out with this person, and it's like, why not? And they're like, oh, they just don't like them. And I'm like, what's wrong with them? They're like, well, they just like don't like them, or like they don't like me hanging out with like the opposite sex. And I'm like, makes no sense. I'm like, because I have so many guy friends.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, am I not allowed to hang out with my brother? Like that kind of thing. Like that's stupid. I feel like now, like if like I said, if someone was like flirting and you were flirting right back, understandable. That's a little
Yeah. That's
not
shady.
necessary.
Yeah.
And that goes for either side. That goes for anybody, honestly. But like, I don't know. Like me and Charles here, like we're really good friends. I tell Charles everything. Some things he doesn't even want to hear, but yet he hears
Everything.
them. And so like, if my boyfriend was like, "Yeah, you can't talk to Charles," I'd be like, "Yeah, then you can." If my boyfriend was like, "You can't talk to Charles," I'd be like, "Yeah, then you can leave," because like Charles is like one of my best friends. Like I'm not gonna like stop talking to him.
Okay, so let's go back to the beginning, right? So when you become friends with someone, so like, of course, when a stranger, you have zero trust in strangers.
Yeah.
So when you become friends with someone, do you start at 100 and you work your way down if, things happen? Or do you start at like 25, 50 and then work your way up? Like, how do you see that trust meter? Like, how do you see it?
Like I said, depending on the relationship and depending on the person, I feel like I always start at 50. Like with you, I didn't really know you, but also like we work together, so I kind of have to trust you somewhat.
Right.
But like somebody on the street, obviously 0. But like my mom, 100%, no matter what. Like I'm gonna trust her from day one, 100%. But like, let's just say take you for example. When I first met you, I have to kind of trust you that you're gonna do your job and that you're gonna be there. Like whenever,
right.
like if like you like to go do something, to go get something, like whatever. Kind of have to trust you a little bit. So I'd have to say like 50% at least.
Okay, 50%.
But
okay.
like not as like a major trust. Like now that we're friends, like I trust that like if I needed you, you'd be there like automatically.
So
you know what I'm saying?
Am I like 75?
No, you're like 100.
Nice. 100.
What am I?
Oh.
Wow. Not even 100. Like, I was waiting for you to be like 100.
Like 101.
Lies.
Like Zoe. See what I did there? Zoe 101?
All right, this podcast.
No, okay, so let me explain what I think, right? So I feel like I trust humanity 25%. So I feel like 25% of the time, like, so like if you're out in public and you see like, oh, someone dropped something and someone like, oh, here, let me help you out. I think 25% of the time, like I have 25% hope that some like people will do the right thing. I'm not foolish, naive. People
Someone
obviously
gave me my umbrella last week when I dropped it. That was nice.
Yeah. And so I feel like, humanity should at least have 25. I mean, that's kind of low, but
No,
realistically,
I don't think so. I mean, you don't know the person.
that's true, but still
That's
like
a good amount.
But just being humans, we should look out for each other. But that's a whole nother, thing.
My dog, 100% trust.
Of course.
My cat, 200% trust.
Well, I don't know. I don't trust cats.
I mean, I trust him to take my life, obviously, because he's an evil little thing. But
True.
trust, 100%.
But like, I don't know. I feel like 25% for people just like every day. But I kind of look at it as like you kind of start at 100% because you have no reason not to trust them.
Did you trust me at 100% when you first met me?
All right, let me rephrase this then.
You said you trust people at like 100%.
I do. That's the thing. I do trust people because it's like, what other data do I have to not trust you? You know what I'm saying?
I guess my thing is like, I don't like to get my hopes up easily. And then I feel like with people like have already like not doing what they're like, not being,
Truthful?
not true. Well,
Shady?
Yeah. No, not shady.
Living up to the bar,
like living up to their promises.
right.
I think it's just easier to like trust, like not a lot, not 100%, because like you have to also earn that too.
For
like
sure.
you have to earn like me to be able to trust you with my life. Like I'm not gonna just like I don't know. Like
I get that. I guess my scale. Okay, so I think it goes from 25 is people I don't know, but then once we become friends, that's at 100.
Okay.
So I think so if I'm not friends with you, I'm like, so I give it that 25%. So I think because like I really value friendship, and like I made this like big deal with, like when I first came to UNCW about like, are we actually friends? Like I want to send people friend requests in real life, as cheesy as that sounds. But at the same time, it's like, oh, we're like, people will assume that you're friends, and it's like,
bro, I don't even know your last name.
Right, and it's not even just that, but it's like, yeah, we hang out and stuff like that. Like, okay, so let me give you. Okay, I might. All right. So let me give you a good example. So, working at Kilwins, and because we work a lot together, and we're coworkers, right? First, but then, because we work a lot and we get along so well, people just assume that we are friends as well. But for me, that's not 100% the case because I
100% hate Charles.
Oh man, that hurt.
JK.
But like yes, we can have fun at work and like, because you got to do what you have to do if you're going to be there 40 hours a week or whatever. Like, that's a long time to be with someone, and just, you got to be able to be, professional, whatever.
Yeah.
But then if I'm like out and about and I'm not friends with you, like I could be like, hey,
I'm
I
gonna do
know you
that
for
white
work.
person nod, like the smile where they like pull their lips in and just like
Yes.
like if I see you in public and I don't fuck with you like that, I'm gonna be like,
like that's literally how I walk past. I don't want to name drop. That's literally how I walk past Spencer. Literally, like I'm like,
Spencer's my girl.
Like, you know what I mean? But it's just like, I don't have anything other than like literally cause now that we don't work together,
you exchange pleasantries and that's it.
Yeah, like I don't have anything to say. Like it's not even like negative or positive, It's just like I don't have anything in common with you, and I don't want to be fake. I'm just like, hey, it's just like I acknowledge you're there. Same with Erin when I see her walking down the street.
Which one?
The manager, Erin.
Oh, I hate them both.
So it's just like it's not even me trying to be fake, but it's just like that's what it is. Like it's like
you.
That's a whole nother. If I don't fuck with somebody, that's like I really don't fuck with somebody. I mean, I'm not name dropping. I'm not trying to bring the smoke today, but we'll talk later. But no, it's just like it's stuff like I think it's a fine balance because because I take friendship so seriously. Like when you're if I say that we are friends, I take friendship seriously, and there's things that I give being your friend. You get this bar of things just from because I do a lot because I'm a nice person in general, so I would do nice things for people that I don't know, just being a human and being a good Samaritan. But once you cross that line of being a friend, you unlock this like door of just great things. But then when you become my best friend, then that's like literally like it's way more because I have all these friends, but then I value you even higher than those friends.
What am I at right now?
You're definitely one of my. Ooh, I'm on the spot.
Wow.
You're definitely one of my best friends, I would say.
Good.
Because now thinking about it, it's 1, 2, 3.
Did I take Kimberly's spot?
You're like probably the top 5 people that I hang out with. And I really don't hang out with 5 people, really. Like
Me.
Yeah, like.
I'd have to say it's like you, Rima, Spencer, and my best friend Marissa, and maybe Steven.
Really? Steven?
Yo, I love Steven. I told him I'd marry him, but he won't let me.
I could see that like story happening one day, but I think a lot has to. Never mind.
Steven has to become a man first.
Oh.
Okay, that sounded so mean. Okay, if y'all were to know Steven, sweet little Steven, I love that boy with all of my heart. Okay, he's what, like 23? Is he 23 or 24?
He's my age.
So what is that?
24.
He's 24. Okay, Steven is 24. He's a very sweet guy. Very, very sweet. He's a spaghetti noodle boy, but very sweet.
He is like the size of a spaghetti noodle. Very skinny.
He got muscles though.
Does he?
You see him flip that kettle?
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he just like he doesn't know what he's doing with his life right now, and not that's a bad thing because a lot of people don't know at certain times. But like, bro smokes so much weed. And,
Nothing wrong with that.
No, but like for me, I'm just like, bro, chill. Like, it's fine, but like at the same time, like he's like, yeah, I like to. He's like, do you prefer to have 2 days off in a row or like off on off? And I was like, I'd prefer to have like off on off. He was like, oh, and I was like, oh, like what's wrong with that? I was like, because then I have like 2 days to get things done, and like I have like time because I was like, when I don't work for like 2 or 3 days in a row, like I just feel like I'm not doing anything with my life. He was like, well, I always plan to do things. He's like, say if I have like Monday and Tuesday off, he's like, I always plan to do things on Monday, but then I never do anything, so I just do them on Tuesday. I'm like, that's so lazy. Like that's so lazy. And then we were joking, like he's supposedly supposed to take me on a date. He said, I ain't got no money, so can I make you ramen? I'm like,
oh, ramen? That is cute. See,
okay, but
ramen can be cute if he goes the extra mile to make it
nice.
More than ramen. Yeah,
well,
like
I think but this is Steven.
That's true.
I think he's
but
just.
You never know.
I said what?
Surprise you.
I said what? Ramen, Invader Zim, and Smoke Session. He's like, I'm walking away now. And I was like, I still love you. And then I told him, I was like, Steven, like I actually like find you attractive. Like you're a hot guy. And he's
wait.
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah, I think Steven's hot. At first, I didn't think that, but that was also with his long hair. But yo, when
you didn't like the long hair, I thought
no.
the long hair.
When he cut that hair, I was like, okay. And when he actually styles it, he looks good. Yo, that hat turned backwards though. Anyways,
I remember you telling me that once.
Yeah, the hat turned backwards. Just wow, panties drop.
Interesting.
But like. He just like I'm like Steven, like you could look so good if like you'll just let me help you. Like you could be so great, like I just feel like he needs a push, but I think I'm too strong of a woman for him.
So
even he says that. He says I'm intimidating. Do you think I'm intimidating?
No.
Thank you.
Not at all. A little aggressive. But
everyone says I'm aggressive. I'm not aggressive. I'm just kidding.
Do you think okay, so that's a good question. Like do you think it's fair to, or let me start with that. Are you like knowing that someone needs like a push or extra work? Are you willing to put that work in to have a relationship with someone?
if they're wanting to put the work in too.
But like, you know what I mean? Like I'm saying, like, because you don't have to put extra work in, because you have to like get, you know what I mean? Because you have to worry about him a little bit more than you have to worry about yourself, just to get him to like say like a ground floor of where you guys want to start at before you can work. So then by the time you get to that ground level, you can be already tired from just getting him there. So and then you can always feel like,
well, hopefully he'll have a nice job then, and he can just support my life. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I mean, true, but I just feel like
I'll be exhausted, but I'll be living lavish.
Like you'll be exhausted just to get him to like the basic. But do you think it's worth it? I guess it's like the cost.
I think if you really like a person and you really want to be with them, they'll not only will you have to work hard, but they'll work hard too. And I think it'll make it easier. And then you two will kind of just like, it's not going to be working hard anymore because you're just going to be working towards what you would like. You would both like.
True.
Because if they're not going to work towards it, then why are you doing it? Because you can't change someone unless they want to change.
Right. So what if that does happen? So what if you start to, what if you start pushing him a little bit further?
Oh, is this like a serious scenario where me and Steven date?
No, I'm just like, I'm just saying like, I like, not even like just you, but like in general, like people who, like when that kind of happens, like when you see the potential in someone, but it's like, okay, do I jump in because I like the potential, I like this person, but
I think you can show them the potential, but it's up to them if they want to move down that road. And then if they say yes, then obviously go with it. But if they say no, then be like, it's up to you. Like, if you don't want to, then, like, I don't think I could be with you because, like, I can't be with someone who doesn't want to live up to their fullest potential. Or at least that's me.
Right. No, yeah, I get that. Because I just feel like it's unfair to one person. Like, and I get, because you obviously are going to change together as you become in a relationship.
Who sang this song? Is it TLC? Scrubs?
Scrubs? Question mark?
No Scrubs.
Oh, yeah.
Is that one? I don't want my boyfriend being no like lame ass boy who can't do anything, who literally doesn't even have a car because he just don't want to pay for one.
Interesting. And that wraps up another episode of Inside the Box. What a great talk that we had with Shelby this week. We brought up some really interesting topics about trust and trusting yourself. And that's something, we all should think about. How much do we actually trust ourselves? Is that something that we even considered? So I think we should all take that into this week and really think about that. I want to thank Shelby again for coming, helping out on this podcast. She was amazing, especially, she came right after work, and I really appreciate that dedication. We will definitely have her back again because you guys love her so much. And next week, or next episode, I'm so excited for one of my other great best friends, Kim. We are both film majors, and we have a, movie buff talk, and we definitely kind of talked, for a while this next episode, and it was great. It was a great talk about movies and the love of film. I think you guys will really enjoy next week's episode, so definitely come back again next week. And of course, like always, keep it creative, my people, and thank you again for listening.